This is me, Sam Adhikari. I am one of the member of my group, that is group number 13. I am about to give presentation of the report which is prepared by my group, which include who is auditor, roles and responsibilities of auditors, and also the case of Cam and Bear Party Limited versus McGoldrick. In the simple language, auditors are the person who conduct audits, who are appointed with the wide array of liabilities and responsibilities, which include to ensure that the financial statements are true and accurate and provide the valid information to all the stakeholders. Auditors also have the responsibility to ensure the financial statements are prepared according with the general acceptance standards and principle of accounting. One of the largest financial sector of Australia is superannuation sector, which includes the funds and different assets. Due to the large amount of cash invested in such fund, which may have a high risk or fraud and poor financial report, we have taken the case between the Cam and Bear Private Limited versus McGoldrick to show the professional, legal and ethical responsibility of the editors. Thank you. I like to call my friend Suman Basnet.
Thank you, Sam, for the introduction of this case. To further illustrate this case, we have taken a case of Mr. Cam and Bear Private Limited, where charged Mr. Goldrick, who is the auditor of the superannuation fund of Cam and Bear Superannuation Fund. He is auditing the financial year of the organization from 2003 to 2008. During this auditing, they have claimed that Mr. Goldrick has provided a false and misleading information regarding the audit. So they have taken this matter to the court, and they have claimed that he has provided a false statement in which he has written that presently the statement has been presented fairly. The financial position of the fund and the results statement was considered to be misleading and deceptive by the appellant. So this, after the 7 days hearing in the court, it has been proved that Mr. Goldrick has provided a false information about the auditing, but it also concluded that there has been contributing negligence from both sides. And about the more legal and ethical aspects of an auditor, my friend will continue.
I'm Sam, and now I'm going to talk about the role of the auditor and their legal and ethical duties, and some of the case of the superannuation fund that is drawn to find out the conclusion for the case that we have taken here. So the many various research has been done in the Australia to figure out the negligence of the auditor and what would be their outcomes. So some of the cases that are related to this case are like One Tail Company, Audit Insurance, and Ansett, and the study that is done in 2015 by the SHU figure out that the more than 60 company has been collapsed due to the auditor negligence, and they also figure out that the company or the client who has bear the loss due to the negligence of the audit, they can take the legal action for them. And furthermore, according to the section 128 Act, auditor has to comply with different auditing standards that are made by the Auditing and Assurance Standard Board under the section of 336 of the Corporation Act 2001. Also, according to the section 17A of SISA 1993, and self-managed superannuation fund is the one in which the corporate trustee are also the director of the fund. Therefore, the auditor are required to work in legal and ethical way in order to benefit the client or the trustee of the fund, and must provide the clear and accurate financial statement. According to the section 9 of the Law Reform Miscellaneous Provision Act 1965 New South Wales, if the plaintiff is found to be involved in the contributory negligence, the damage for the negligence can be lower, as for the court believes that it is justifiable and equitable. So we have derived some of the recommendation related to this case, and it will be told by my friend Saurabh. Thank you.
I am Saurabh Kerala, and I am going to talk about recommendation. According to Australia's audit regulation framework, auditing strategy must include the special obligation for the auditor to prepare the financial report. Audit planning by the auditors must involve an effective communication plan that may include the clients and also third parties. Communication and discussion with every party involved is significant to obtain every important information. The planning phase requires to obtain most of to-date information regarding the funds, must assess the changes occurred in trust deed, information regarding involvement of third parties, and must obtain the copies of any document that could impact the auditing process. Auditors are also required to conduct a risk assessment process that they may assess risk associated with fraud, cash flow, contract environment, internal operation, and financial audit. Thank you. And now I'd like to call my friend Dilip Mananda.
Friends for this opportunity. As we all know, we have discussed about the case and the role of the auditor. We have come to the conclusion that we have drawn from the case Cam and Bear Private Limited versus McGoldrick, 2016, New South Wales, section 1894. So the conclusion are: an auditor is the gatekeeper of any financial institution, ensuring the rules and regulation and also the legal compliance, maintaining the auditing standard, and also preventing the risks that a company may suffer in the coming future. And also, just like Mr. Goldrick was found guilty in the case, any auditor would be found guilty if is obliged and liable towards the client and as well as third parties if they conduct any kinds of error in the financial report. And in the end, we can conclude that an auditor is an important aspect in any kinds of financial institution for preparing the financial report and also preventing the risks. And thank you for the presentation. That's all. Thank you.